Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Em and welcome to this reading vlog. And in this reading vlog, we are going to be reading holiday rom-coms, which I don't normally read, but 'tis the season. I want some happy endings. I want some light, fluffy times. I want to feel joy. I don't know if this is gonna actually give me joy, but you know what? It can't hurt to try, right? Okay, let's talk about the books I'm going to read in this video. I am committing to 2 for sure. Maybe we'll read 3. We'll see how the first 2 go is what I'm going to base it on. I am going to be reading in this vlog for sure Most Wonderful by Georgia Clark. This is really like the impetus for this video because I've seen this cover everywhere online and I think it's so cute. Yep, it's a gay holiday rom-com, thank you very much, which is exactly what I was going for. I read a sapphic holiday rom-com last year and had such a good time with it, and I just want to read sapphic rom-coms every year because it makes me so happy. And I think this one is multiple. I don't know. I'm not going to say I know a thing about this book. That is queer. So we're definitely reading Most Wonderful. And then we're also going to read, why do I keep saying we? It's me. I'm so happy you're here, but I'm the one doing the reading. Corporate Mandated Holiday Romance by Nellie Wilson. And I actually started this already. I started it last night when I desperately needed to feel joy. So we'll talk about this a little bit more in depth in this intro. And I have like a Rome Parish ebook that I could read. I'll have to go through my Kobo. I might have multiple holiday rom-coms on there. You could also do an audiobook because I'm pretty sure I have a holiday rom-com on Libro FM somewhere. And then I also have With Love from the library barcode is covering it up. What is it called? With Love from Cold World. I don't know if this is holiday rom-com. I don't know if it's holiday anything, but look, there's snowflakes on it. So it's wintry. That counts, right? Oh, I see Secret Santa. Okay, so this takes place okay, we're counting this. I might read this because I've also had this checked out from the library and should probably read it and give it back because no TBR books are rolling over into 2025. So if there's anything that's on my TBR now, I should read it because we're wiping it clean at the end of the year. Also, this is probably the last reading vlog for 2024. Probably. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, that's a lot of rambling. Sorry. Let's get back to Corporate Mandated Holiday Romance. I picked this up because my friend Paige recommended it, and Paige has exquisite taste in romances, so I try to listen to her as much as I listen to anybody. And it's about Brooklyn, who has always wanted to save the world. She's always been into environmental advocacy and wants to work for a company that has similar goals and ethics. And she gets what she thinks is her dream job at this company in the marketing department, and this company and the CEO has this reputation for being super environmentally friendly and like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Philanthropic. And she gets there and realizes the CEO is a creepy scumbag and is doing stuff that is definitely shady, possibly illegal. And so she reaches out to this journalist that she'd met like the day before named Max, who writes exposés, like bringing down corporate businesses and corporate corrupt. Neither was wrong, but corrupt businesses and politicians and organizations. And so, of course, they have to fake date in order to investigate if what this company is doing is actually illegal. Sure. It moves super fast, as it should, since it's barely 200 pages. So at 80 pages in, Brooklyn and Max are already fake dating. It's great. Max is Jewish and has like actively avoided all Christmas things his whole life. And so, and of course, like Brooklyn's company, even though they say they have all these holiday activities, they're all very Christmas centric. And so she's like teaching him about Christmas while also recognizing how gross it is that everything is Christmas related. And what I'm liking about this so far is it doesn't feel, sometimes when I read a Christmas or holiday romance, I mean, let's be real, I think 90% of the holiday romances I've read are Christmas related. I think I've read 2 Hanukkah romances, so I definitely need to improve and read more Hanukkah. There also just needs to be more Hanukkah romances if we're gonna go down that rabbit hole. But I like that this one doesn't, I don't feel like I'm being hit over the head by Christmas in this one. Like, it's very much, like, it's obviously Christmas time, but it doesn't feel like it's Christmas. And that might be because, you know, it's set in LA, and LA doesn't do like the whole winter thing, like how we think about it, or how like I think about it living in the northern part of the country. And I like Brooklyn and Max's dynamic. I don't know that I super love Brooklyn, but I could get there. But I like their chemistry. I like that it's not a billionaire romance. I like that we're bringing down the billionaire in this one. And I think it will be, you know, a fun, cozy time. So that is that. Welcome to the video. I hope you enjoy watching me try to find some joy. Wish me luck. And I'll come update you probably when I have finished this one, because like I said, I don't have very much more to go. Okay, now I'm here with an update. I finished Corporate Mandated Holiday Romance this morning, and I think I'm going to give it a 3.5 stars. Unfortunately, my initial enjoyment didn't like sustain me all the way through it, but so this is about Brooklyn and Max, who partner together to bring down the CEO of the business that Brooklyn works at. Max is a journalist and Brooklyn is in marketing. And it started off so cute because like they of course like decided they needed to fake date in order to get Max into the building to see like what was going on. I feel like I was real heavy-handed with my blush this morning. I used the powder instead of the cream, and I feel like maybe that was a mistake. Anyways, like I thought it was so cute at the beginning because of course like they decided to fake date, like unnecessary, but okay, it's cute. And you know, they're sniffing around and they're trying to like figure out if the CEO has actually broken any laws, because Brooklyn sees some stuff that looks shady but isn't quite sure if it's criminal, and that's like how she gets in touch with Max. And I don't know, part of it was so cute, part of it was so contrived. This whole situation was just very never felt like a natural progression of events, I'll say. There was a really cute scene where they went ice skating that I found absolutely adorable. I really liked that scene. I really liked Max in general. Like, as a hero, I really, really liked Max. I will say, like, this definitely feels like, even though Nellie Wilson is not Jewish, this book very much felt like, let me teach you Christmas people about Jewish people. And so, and you only have one POV. You only have Brooklyn's POV, which I get why the author made that choice, but I also wish we had Max's POV. I think that would have been really fun. But since Brooklyn is learning about Judaism, like, we are learning it along with her, and that felt a little like, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I feel like this could be kind of like an annoying book to read, like if you yourself are Jewish, because it's so like Jewish people 101, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so it was cute, probably a little forgettable, not my favorite holiday-ish rom-com that I've ever read. I also felt like the third act breakup was like so unnecessary. I mean, I almost always think the third act breakup is unnecessary, but this one like felt super unnecessary. Like, we didn't need this. There could have been another way. I don't know. I just didn't understand why they needed to be apart for a bit. But I almost never do. I kind of don't like third act breakups unless they're done well. If they're done well and there are like legit, real good reasons, then I can be on board. But I just wasn't on board for this one. But this is a really quick, easy read. It is fun. I liked all the characters. So it's like, I think it's decent. I think it's good. It just didn't like wow me. And I was really hoping to be wowed. So there's that. And then while I was at the gym this morning, I started Most Wonderful by Georgia Clark. I just started listening to the audiobook on Spotify. And I love and hate that I don't read synopses for books because I stopped at the end of the third chapter. And at the end of the third chapter, I was like, oh, this book is about 3 siblings. And then I went to look at the back and it's like, a charming queer holiday romance about 3 adult siblings. Like, oh, yeah. If I'd read the synopsis, I would have known that in the beginning and then wouldn't have been confused in chapter 2 when we switched perspectives because I didn't remember the last name of the character we met in chapter 1. So I'm a little slow on the uptake, but it's, it makes the journey a little bit more exciting. So I'm not going to start reading I'm not going to start reading synopses, but I don't know, I thought that was funny. I'm not far enough in to like have a whole lot of thoughts, but we're following 2 sisters and a brother. Both the sisters are gay. I believe the brother's either straight or bisexual. They haven't like said and either way, but he has like a girlfriend in his chapter. And yeah, it's interesting. They all feel different so far, which is good. One is in Hollywood, and I don't really like Hollywood in books. So I was actually really relieved that we have multiple perspectives because when I realized that the main character in chapter 1 was like a Hollywood person, I was like, oh, I don't want to read another book that like centers around the film industry. So glad we have other people to follow. But yeah, it's just continuing to truck along. I was watching a vlog that Emmy put out last night, and she was talking about embracing winter, and I think I would like to do that a little bit in this vlog. I hate winter. Like every year. It's my least favorite season. I don't like being cold. I don't like being wet. Sometimes we get snow, but most of the time when we get snow, we get ice, and I hate ice. It makes me so nervous. And there's just so much about winter I don't like. But I was like, what if we kind of embrace it this week, especially since the solstice is, I think, on Friday. Like, it might be fun to kind of lean into the coziness of winter. So I think we're going to do that. I'm not sure how we're going to do that this week, but I think that's going to be the attempt. It's like I don't look at myself in the mirror until I turn on the camera, and then all the things that I would fix if I looked in a mirror become apparent. Anyways, today is Sunday, and my twins are in a production of A Christmas Carol, and today's the last performance, so I'm actually going to be heading over there in a little bit. So, but maybe this evening I can make like some hot apple cider. And by make, I mean I can open the package and pour the powder into a glass and then pour in hot water. Low effort. Low effort, high reward. That's what we're going for. But maybe we'll do a little bit of baking in this vlog or something. I also have hot cocoa, and I don't know. I'm just here from some cozy vibes. We will definitely have soup this week. Definitely, because I love soup. It's my favorite thing about the cold weather is that I can have soup. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about like romanticizing winter. Do you like winter? Like, what are the things you do to make it not the worst season of the year, basically?
Hey friends, it's Monday. I'm shortly about to go pick up my youngest, but I wanted to give you a quick little update before I did. I did start Most Wonderful last night, and I'm, 152 pages in. Actually, I think I'm a couple pages further because I've been listening to the audiobook just a little bit in the car, but not too much farther. Anyways, I'm really liking this so far. Now, because we have it's supposed to be three main characters. I'll be honest, I feel like Liz, the oldest so far, feels like a little bit more of a main character than Birdie or Rafi, who are her siblings. And even though I said I was like nervous when we were in Liz's perspective because she works in Hollywood, she's a showrunner for this TV show that's a adaptation of Sweet Valley High, but it sounds like it's done for Sweet Valley High what the new Sabrina did or Riverdale did for Archie Comics, where it's a little bit darker, a little bit more dramatic. So she's a showrunner on that, and her romance is with Violet Grace, who is the lead actress on the show. And I am loving their storyline together so far. It's so great. They had like a kiss in Italy when they were on a press tour, and Liz got totally freaked out because she's a little bit older than Violet, and then also, she's the showrunner for this show. And so like the power imbalance like freaked her out because she doesn't want to be like put Violet in a position where Violet gets taken advantage of or like could feel taken advantage of. And so like Liz freaked out and backed way the fuck off. I really like Liz as a character. She's the oldest sister. She is very responsible. She takes on a lot. She feels a lot of responsibility for her siblings and her career. And I can relate. Okay. And also because my husband and I are still watching Arcane, like I said, very slow. We're finally on season 2 and I am losing my mind over this show. But because we're watching Arcane, like I'm automatically going to love anybody whose name is Violet because I love Vi in Arcane so much. And so those feelings of love for Vi are like folding over into this book to the love that I feel for Violet and Liz. And then Birdie is like a failing comedian. She is like the total opposite of Liz. She is super scattered, very impulsive, not responsible. And like her career as a comedian is not doing well because Birdie keeps sabotaging herself. Like she keeps making stupid decisions that mean she misses opportunities to perform, or she like lost her agent at the beginning of the book because she missed her set because she's in the bathroom like getting it on with a woman. And so she's definitely like Hot Mess Express. And she meets this artist whose name I can't remember because she's only been in a few scenes. And she's at an art show. Jekka, her name's Jekka. She's at an art show and she's flirting with this beautiful woman, and the woman asks her what she thinks of the art, and Birdie thinks that she's being set up to be funny. And then, of course, after she puts her foot in the mouth, finds out that Jekka is the artist. And then, like, flails and ends up spilling her wine on one of Jekka's paintings. So Birdie's having to grovel. And then Rafi at the beginning is like on the way to his company Christmas party and is wanting to propose to his girlfriend, and it goes horribly. And then, so like we've definitely gotten the least amount of Rafi, but like those were the first 3 chapters, were a Liz chapter, a Birdie chapter, a Rafi chapter, just so you got like all their stuff, where they're coming from, what position that they're in. I'm liking it a lot. I'm really hopeful it could be one that I love, but we'll see. Who knows? All right. I wanted to talk to you all about romanticizing winter and reading habits, but I need to go get Emmett. So we will talk about that in the next clip.
Okay, so I've been thinking, like I said, about romanticizing winter and what that could look like for my life and the season of life that I'm in, with having like slightly older kids and working and doing YouTube and all those things. And then I've also been thinking a lot about the bad habits, like the bad reading habits I've picked up this year in doing booktube. I mean, I just picked up a lot of habits in general. I've noticed a big shift in my reading as I make content around my reading. And some things are fine, and those can stay. And then other ones I feel like are very like reading for content habits. More like if we're doing specifics, the way I have slowly started prioritize quick and fast over long, and maybe a little bit slower, a little bit denser, a little bit harder to communicate about in a sentence or two. And so these are all the things that are kind of like swirling around my brain as I'm getting ready for 2025. And so I watched a video this morning that some of it I liked, some of it I was like, no, that doesn't quite work for me. But it was about how to really optimize like your 5 to 9 o'clock. And not optimize and like make them more productive, but just especially in the winter, in not just coming home and losing the hours of the rest of my day because the sun goes down at 4:30 and it's cold and it's dark and it's wet and I just want to bundle up, but that desire isn't coming across in like what I'm choosing to do with my time when I get home. And so this content creator was really talking about, you know, we come home from our work days and we're really tired and we're run down, and we sit down, we open our phones with the intent of relaxing, but being on your phone doesn't actually relax you, it numbs you. And that is not what I'm wanting. And I noticed that when I'm really tired, I'm so prone to pick up my phone and to just scroll through Instagram. And I don't want that. So I think I'm going to be working, I mean, it's not something that I'm going to solve in this video, so it'll be like something that I'm working on for myself in establishing like an evening routine. I have such a set morning routine that and I've never really had a good evening routine. So that's something I'm going to be working on, and just, you know, stuff that I'm thinking about. And I think with the reading one, a lot of it is just giving myself permission to not finish a book in a vlog. Maybe a book rolls over into the next vlog. I've also fallen into the habit towards the end of this year of doing a lot of like, well, not a lot, but doing more themed vlogs like this one. I mean, this is a theme vlog. And I want to get back to just doing regular reading vlogs and maybe having a themed one every once in a while. But yeah, to make my reading more organic for me and to fit my content creation and my videos and my vlogs around my reading rather than fitting my reading for the content, I think is where I'm landing at. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now. Those are things that I'm keeping in mind as I get ready for a new year. And I know, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this if you have any. I was thinking the other day that I'm always very grateful that even though I am online, I'm not super online. Like I get a lot of online references, but there are some I don't get, and that is okay because I don't want to be a super online person. And actually in January, I usually take a social media break from my Instagram. I imagine I'll do that this year. I mean, it's tricky because I'm not taking a YouTube break because I don't use YouTube as social media. I know it is social media, but I don't use it in the way that I use Instagram. Like I never find myself mindlessly scrolling on YouTube, which is great. Yeah, usually I take January off for my personal Instagram, and then I'm just going on to the bookstore's Instagram to post content. And I think I will most definitely be doing that again. It'll be like my 3rd or 4th year, I think. My 4th year maybe, of taking January off from Instagram. So that'll be good. It's always necessary. Okay, I don't really know how to get out of this philosophical moment that I found myself in. Not philosophical, but I know, it's not book related, so I usually don't veer off topic like that, but I know. I've been thinking a lot lately about how we only get one life, and I really want to like enjoy the one I have. So that's the goal. It's always the goal. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. Bye. Hello friends, it's been a couple of days, but I finished Most Wonderful this morning and I wanted to come tell you about it. Obviously, that's the whole point of this video. Anywho, so I ended up giving this a 3.75 and I would say for the most part, I had a really good time. I think this is a really lovely Christmas rom-com-ish. Here's the deal. Three romances is a lot to follow for me. And because we basically have three main characters and we have three romances, I never felt like I got super invested in anybody. Liz and Violet obviously had my attention the most, but and I would say Liz and Violet's is definitely the most like HEA of the romances. I would say Birdie's isn't really an HEA or an HFN, and Raffi's is kind of a little bit, but not like Violet and Liz's romance is definitely the strongest, but their third act breakup was so annoying for me that definitely knocked them down a little bit. I actually found the family aspect of this book the most enjoyable and the most charming. I really loved watching the three siblings together and watching them with their mom, and there's some family dynamics going on, there's some secrets going on that need to be aired, and some personal growth that needs to happen with some of these characters. And so the ending of the book really focused more on the family than it did on any of the romances, and I really liked that dynamic. And watching this very unique, kind of messy family was my favorite part of this book. But it's supposed to be a romance, so again, like if I'm reading a romance book and the romance is the least interesting thing to me, I don't know that the book is doing its job. But I did think this was lovely and very cute and very heartwarming. So I would recommend it. I would just maybe not read this if you're looking for like a super swoony romance, because when you're splitting a 400-page book between three characters, you don't get a lot of swooning time, unfortunately. And then after finishing this, I did pick up With Love from Cold World and read about 5 pages before I realized I am Christmas rom-commed out. So I will not be reading this book in this video after all. I will save this for next year, or maybe at a different time of the year, because I do enjoy reading Christmas rom-coms at a time of year where I'm not burnt out on all the Christmas things. So we are going to end this vlog here with these 2 books being the red ones, and they're fine. It's just fine. Again, this is not really my favorite, like, is this a genre? Niche? I don't know. This one's not my favorite Christmas rom-coms, holiday rom-coms, but it's fun to pick them up, not every year, but every once in a while, and just read something that's light and frothy. I really did hope I would be a little bit more giggly about these books, but alas, that's not how it goes. I would read fantasy that was set during like a Yuletide celebration. I wonder if there's any fantasy books that are like Christmas books. Not A Court of Frost and Starlight, because I've already read that. And I don't really read Sarah J. Maas anymore. So that one can't count. But if you know of other fantasy books or fantasy romance that's got like Christmas vibes, a little Yuletide, a little winter solstice, along those lines, I would read that. I'm looking at my fantasy books right now, trying to see if anything pings in my brain as having what I'm looking for. If you want an Arcane update, we have 2 episodes left. I'm scared for it to be over. Especially since it's like, this is it. We don't get another season. And like, I really respect that. I really respect it when shows are like, nope, this is the amount of episodes we need to tell this story. And once our story is told, we are done. We are not going to drag this out when we don't have more of a story to tell. So I respect it, but it's going to be sad to say goodbye to all those characters in 2 episodes. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up this video, this last vlog of 2024. If you are looking, like just looking down the road for more content that's coming out for me, I'm going to be starting to do end of the year content. We're going to be doing some reading goals for 2025. I'm going to do a January TBR. And then in January, I will start doing best of lists, but I know there are content creators who are doing best of lists in December, and that's great for them. I am always just scared that if I start doing them before the actual end of the year, I will read something in the final days of the year that is a favorite and then not be able to tell you all about it because I'll have already filmed that video. So I hold off until January. So for the rest of this year, yeah, we're just gonna, I'm looking forward to just kind of not having any vlogs in the next 2 weeks and just reading what I want to read without worrying about filming content around it. Be interested to see if my reading habits shift during those 2 weeks or if like what I've established for content is kind of what I do all the time now. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'll be interested to see what happens, if anything happens. But anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. If whatever you celebrate, and that you'll get some rest and are able to recharge, do something that brings you joy, since that's in short supply these days. And I'll talk to y'all in the next. Oh, let's do an emoji. If you want to leave an emoji to let me know you're here, I guess do your favorite holiday emoji, like a Christmas tree, a wreath. Is there a menorah thing? A menorah emoji? There should be. Yeah, or if you're not like a holiday person, then just leave your favorite winter emoji. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye!